Can a person be too familiar with God? We're going to talk about that, but first let me encourage you to subscribe to this YouTube channel and to go to 2minutetruths.com to get more details on what we're going to be talking about. Have you ever become too familiar with something? You've become so used to it that you just kind of don't pay attention to it anymore? Maybe it's that pile of stuff on your desk that you just have kind of learned to work around and don't even see anymore. Or maybe it's something in the garage that you've started walking around and you've done it so much now it's just habit to walk around it and you don't see it. There's an old saying that says familiarity breeds contempt. It's kind of a hard word to say. Familiarity breeds contempt. But that can happen with us in our relationship with God. Only it doesn't look like contempt, it looks like casualness. We can become so familiar with God that we just become casual about Him. But in Leviticus chapters 23 and chapters 24, we're told how we can relate to God in such a way that we can become more familiar and yet not take Him for granted. And chapter 23 talks about the idea of remembering His goodness. That the more we remember His goodness, regularly remember His goodness, the less we'll take Him for granted. And chapter 24 talks about continuously, unquestionably obeying God. The more we obey Him without question, the more we'll become familiar with Him without taking Him for granted. So this week, I challenge you at 2 or 3 times during your day to remember God's goodness to you. It can be about anything, but remember His goodness to you. And every time you come up against something that God wants you to obey, obey unquestionably. If you do that, you'll become more familiar with God without getting too casual with God. Hope this works well for you this week. We'll see you next week.